you see yourself as a craftsman, right? That's how we see each other as well. What do you think it means to be a craftsman? What does that personally for you mean? If what value does it have for you? You would you say?
Yeah, I love making things with my hands. That's the part I love about being craftsman.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't see myself in the selling part.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll always. I'm very shy with the customers. I don't usually go to the customers. I think my place. I'm sure my place is in the shop, making the process with my hands. I love
Mm-hmm.
making things with my hands. I would like to learn. I don't know, um, painting maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or making other craft
Mm-hmm.
that you can create with your hands. I love that
Mm-hmm.
part. I love that part of being a craftsman.
Mm-hmm. Do you do drawing and painting as well?
Yeah, I draw. I draw. I draw. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And have you been doing that for a long time, or is this something you've?
Yeah, since high school.
What sort of things do you draw?
It's more like geometrics,
Oh yeah,
drawings. Yeah.
right, right, right. And would you say that does that inspire your work with tailoring, or do you see them as
In a
separate
in a part
things?
in a part.
Which part exactly?
Again, please.
Which part does it does it? Which part of the drawing does inspire you with the tailoring?
Um, I don't know. My drawings are more geometric
Mm-hmm.
lines and filling spaces.
Mm.
And yeah, I think this obsession is comes in part from my mom, because
Mm-hmm.
she's um, she likes to put attention to details. She's like a perfectionist person, and I
Mm.
think I learned that from her. And I like being this perfectionist with my work as well.
Mm-hmm. Do you practice as well apart from the work that you do? Like, obviously, if you're making things every day, that in itself is already some sort of a practice. But besides that, do you also take your own time to perfect something on the side?
Yeah, I've been practicing the Milanese buttonhole recently, and I think I've shared pictures about that.
Yeah,
And I'm learning. I'm learning about embroidery. I,
embroidery.
yeah, I'm teaching myself to embroider.
And is that just general interest, or were you inspired by something?
I think was inspired by tailoring. I wanted to learn things about tailoring or sewing by hand. I wanted to learn all the things related to the same field.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I guess if you kind of like manage to master different aspects of sewing in general, it all eventually adds up to your level of mastery. Do you have a method of practicing? Do you look for specific things, or do you have a method of trying things in a specific order, or do you write things down? Do you make notes? How do you learn? Is the question really? How do you practice?
Well, when I started learning, I wanted to do it in this order. First, buttonholes, pick stitch, pockets, canvassing, and then I don't know, maybe as the holding front and back together, shoulders, collars, sleeves. Yeah, in that order.
And did you have a specific reason why you wanted to do it in that order?
Because I thought it was the right way to learn all the process, from the easiest ones to the more difficult ones.
I see. I see. Um, Marco, here's something interesting. I talk to a lot of tailors, and sometimes they tell me what we do is very limited. What we do is very small. We're not doctors. We're not saving lives. We're not inventing space shuttles. We're doing very little for humanity, and things like that. And I've heard that like throughout the years consistently. You know, people say, "Oh, well, you're just making clothes," or you're just in a basement doing a little bit of sewing. But that doesn't sit well with me, right? I think I personally have the feeling that there is something about artisans and artists in general that, if done well and if cultivated well to an exceptional level, can add value to society in ways that we maybe cannot imagine yet. Um, it's definitely clear that a lot of artists in the past, they have helped society to look at things perhaps differently, with paintings or with architecture or with sculpture, and the artists themselves, they are also always looking for something new. They are trying to perfect something. I mean, when you are making buttonholes and you're focusing on the corners of the pocket that you're making, clearly you're searching for something. You're trying to bring something from within, and articulate that in the form of the art that you're pursuing. What place do you think that we artisans have in society, and what do you think it is that we have to offer?
Um,
I know it's a difficult question, but take your time. It's see, we'll see where it goes.
I think it's everybody has or had the same attitude about putting attention or caring about the details. If everybody would do that, I don't know, the world would be the world would be a better place. If I don't know if everybody would put attention to the job and reaching to make things better every day, I don't know, the world would be a better place. I think that's a difficult question.
Well, you say something very, very important there, and I think it's a fundamental thing. And what you say is that if everybody would do that, right? And one of the things that I learned probably in the last 2 or 3 years, was that every time I'm about to make a decision, or I'm about to do something that is maybe new, or something that's turned into a habit, I should ask myself, what would happen if everybody would do what I am going to do now? And then I try to simulate what would happen. I mean, I can't know because it's too much, but at least with my limited capabilities, I would try to simulate, okay, if everybody would now do as I am doing now, what would happen? And then it usually indicates whether it's a good thing or not. Because if everybody would sit home and just smoke, or do something, that wouldn't really bring the best part out of them, then that wouldn't be a good idea. So for the same reason, it wouldn't be good for one person even to just sit at home and just smoke, for example. But you also say that it's aspiring to perfect something, and I don't know what that is, man. I don't know why we sometimes aspire to perfect things. Why? Like, tell me from your experience, when you are making a buttonhole, or you're making a jacket, or whatsoever, what happens to you as the person when you have accomplished the perfection that you were seeking? What does it to you?
The satisfaction,
Satisfaction.
satisfaction, satisfaction with my work, satisfaction. The I'm sure customer will love uh, their garment, and yeah, man, thinking about the future has become an obsession for me. I always think about what is going to happen if I make this perfect. What is going to happen if I don't put attention to this or that? Uh, what the client gonna think about me?
Mm.
The customer might not see me, but what the customer gonna think about the person who made this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What the customer gonna imagine about the person who put all the attention to make this pocket perfect, or maybe the buttonholes perfect. Yeah, I'm always think about that. I always think what people's
Mm.
gonna think about me, or what people's gonna think about the shop in general, or the brand in general, or the yeah, or the people who taught me
Mm.
tailoring. Uh, yeah, it's become an obsession. It equals to focus my attention to detail. Thinking about the future has become an obsession. I always think about tomorrow, uh, what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna be at, where I'm gonna be with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always think about that.